Are you using a Salesforce, one of the leading CRM tool, to gain insight into your team's performance and critical metrics? Do you want to get the answer to important questions such as how did your teams perform, what are the number of opportunity closed in last quarter, what's the conversion rate from the lead to accounts, and which sale teams generate the highest number of leads, and many more? If yes, this training is specially designed for you. Hello everyone, welcome to our free session on Salesforce Report from Zero to Hero. Before we will proceed towards the today's session, let's know who I am. Hi guys, I am Tanya Puri, your Salesforce consultant from TS Info Technologies. I specialize in both managing and building stuff in Salesforce and have expertise in both Salesforce administrator and developer. I am working with numerous clients and serving them Salesforce projects according to their specific need, and throughout my journey in Salesforce I have gained invaluable expertise that I am very excited to share with you all. So whether you are a beginner or an expert, this session is designed to help you learn how you utilize the reports in Salesforce. I will provide you step-by-step guidance on Salesforce report within a Salesforce Lightning interface from beginning to advanced level. So today we will be focusing on what is reports in Salesforce and why we use them. I will also let you know how you can assess the report, create a new report with its different types, and even I will let you explain how you can create up the custom report in Salesforce. Moving ahead, I will explain you various features of Salesforce report such as customizing a reports column, filtering the data in a reports, and even I will explain you how you can group up the reports data and create various report formats. I will also take you to the advanced features of a Salesforce report and let you know how you can create up a formula fields with the bucket fields in Salesforce, and also I will explain how you can apply the conditional highlighting in Salesforce report. Last but not the least, I will explain about reports folder and permissions that you grant to the user and let you know how you can share, schedule and export reports in Salesforce Lightning interface. So without wasting any time, let's proceed and understand what does we mean by reports in Salesforce. So reports are a powerful tool that contains a data in an organized form. If you talk about Salesforce report, they are the list of filtered records, you can say. Basically, they allow you to filter records based upon a specific criteria and present them in a structured list format, making it easy to analyze and drive insight from your data. The Salesforce report provide a comprehensive view of your data to help you to make informed decision and grow success. Now the question arises, why do we use this Salesforce report? So firstly, you can use it for analyzing and visualization. Basically, these Salesforce reports are a powerful tool that help you to analyze and visualize data stored in your organization Salesforce database. It even helps user to extract the meaningful insight by organizing, summarizing, and displaying information in various formats. The third reason to use it is identifying trends and gaps. Basically, these reports are a powerful way that helps you to identify and understand the current trends and gaps in a business process. The next feature is that it is a flexible examination. You can examine your Salesforce data in almost infinite combination and making it easy to understand and act upon. Last but not the least, it has a feature of share insight. With this I mean these reports allow you to share the resulting insight with others and facilitating informed decision making across the team and the stakeholders. So now let's proceed and understand how we can navigate to reports in Salesforce Lightning interface. So for that, your first step is to log in into your Salesforce account with a username and password, and once you successfully log in, most of the cases you will on the home page that is visible on your screen right now. Basically, this home page is not a main home setup page for Salesforce Lightning experience. It is the home page that is set as a default landing page in a Salesforce. So to redirect yourself to the main home setup page of a Lightning interface, Firstly, you need to click on the gear icon that is given on the right side, and from here you need to click on the setup option. Once you click on that, it will take you to the main home setup page that is visible on your screen right now. Once you reached on that page, you need to navigate yourself to the app launcher. The app launcher is this 9 dots, or you can say a grid icon in the top left corner. Once you click on that, it will gives you one search bar. Here you need to search for reports, or either you can click on view all and select the reports from different apps and items. So here I am searching for reports. When I write it up here, it will give me the result for reports under these items. You need to click on the reports to navigate yourself to the reports in Salesforce Lighting. And here you have it, and you are now in the report section and ready to assess all the reports you need. So with this, we have reached to the report section. So now let's proceed and learn how we can create a new report in Salesforce. Creating a report in Salesforce is a powerful way to analyze and visualize your data. So let's see the step-by-step procedure how we can create up a new report in Salesforce Lightning. In the previous step, we have left out on this page that is visible on your screen right now. Now we will proceed from here and learn to create up the new report. So firstly, you need to click on the new report button to start creating up the new report, and here the button is located on the top right side. Once you click on that, it will navigate to the next page, and here on the left sidebar you will see a category section. From here you need to choose a category that best fit the data you want to analyze. Here we have a categories like accounts and contacts, opportunity, customer support reports, lead, campaigns activity, contract order, price book, product, assets, administrator, and many other. So it's time to choose up the category that you want. Let's suppose I have selected here the opportunity one, and now it gives you the report type from this opportunity categories on the right side of your screen. From here you need to select the specific report type that aligns with all your analysis need according to your requirement. But before I will let you know about the next step, I want to show you one thing. So here you can see that under this category, next to given to this report type name, you can see that we have a standard as a category, and once you scroll down you will also get a custom as a category. So it means that we have a two kinds of report in Salesforce, that is a standard and the custom one. Now let's move back to our previous step. We are on this page that is a select of a report type. So let's suppose here I have chosen up this opportunities as a report name. I click on that and it will gives you a button of a start report on the right side. You need to click on this start report button to generate your report, or you can say to create up your new report. So before we will discuss about this thing detail, let's first understand what does we mean by a standard report and a custom report. So as I have shown you, there are two main types of report, standard report and the custom report. So let's firstly understand what does we mean by the standard report. So these reports are predefined in your Salesforce application and they come automatically with standard object and the custom objects where a low report option is checked. These standard reports contain both standard as well as a custom fields for each object formed automatically when an object or relationship is established. Moreover, these reports are always employ inner joins, meaning they include data only when there is a match between related objects. For example, if you want to display sales opportunity by region, you can utilize the standard report provided by the Salesforce. Now let's talk about the custom report. When standard reports are not working well, that's where the custom reports came. A custom reports are ideal for tracking complex scenarios where relationship between objects are not predefined. These Salesforce custom report types are entirely customizable, empowering users with manage custom report type permission to create them. Moreover, here administrator or designated user can specify which object will be included in a report, ensuring that the primary object has a relationship with other object either directly or indirectly. Unlike the standard report, these custom reports provide flexibility and omitting the inner joins and accommodating scenarios where direct relationship between objects are not exist. Let's understand with the example. For example, let's say a company want a report that combines the data from both sales opportunity and the customer feedback. While a standard report might not be offer this combination, a custom report type can be created to link these objects and enabling the generation of the desired report. So I hope you have understood properly how you can create up a custom report in Salesforce. I hope you have clearly understood what are the standard reports and the custom report. Now let's proceed ahead and discuss how to create up a custom report type in Salesforce. So we have left out on this page in the last step. Now to create up the custom report type in Salesforce, we need to open up one new setup for that. So for that you need to click on a gear icon, and from here you need to click on the setup option. It will open one new tab and take you to the lightning interface main home setup page. And when you came over to this home setup page of a lightning interface, on the left side you will get a quick find box. In this quick find box you need to type for the report types, and once you type here it will give you the result for the report types under this reports and dashboards section. Once you get it, you need to click on that. It will take you to the setup of a custom report types. Now here you can see that we have a one button of a continue. To proceed ahead you need to click on that. Once you click on that, it will take you to the page which lets you allow to create a new custom report type by clicking on a new custom report type button given on the top. Once you click on that, it will redirect you to the page where you need to define some of the things. When you are defining the custom report type, start up by choosing the primary object and this specify the focus of the report. As I have explained you about one example while discussing the custom report type, I am going to show you how we can create up in this Salesforce Lightning. So as per our example that we have discussed previously, we need to choose up the primary object as a opportunity. So here I click on a drop down and start searching for the opportunity object, and here I get it, and once I get it down I click on that opportunities. Now after that, next you need to fill up the report type label. This is how the custom report type will be displayed in a Salesforce. The next we have a report type name that get automatically populated and used for the identification purpose. The third we have a description that provide a brief description to explain the purpose of the report type. Basically it provide a additional context about the custom report type to the user. And the last we have a choose category. Don't forget to choose the category to store the custom report type, as it helps to organize the report type for easier navigation and management. As per our example, I name it as a opportunities feedback, and here you can see report name automatically get populated, and from this stored category I choose up the opportunities as a category. Lastly, you need to set up the deployment status. It indicates the current stage of a deployment from the custom report type. It has two cases. The first one is in deployment and the second is deployment. If you set it up to in deployment, it means that the report type is still being worked on and it is not yet available for the regular use. Once the deployment is completed and the necessary testing has been done, you need to set up it to the deployed. So here, after doing all such thing, I set it to the deploy by clicking on the radio button, and the next you have to click on the next button to proceed ahead. Once you click next, it will gives you an error of entering up a description because we have to enter it out. So here, just to show you randomly things, I am entering at the opportunity feedback. You can give a detailed information about that. I click on the next to proceed. Now in the next step, you need to relate another object to your custom report type. For that, you need to click to the relate to another object option given inside the box. Here you can see that. Once you click on that, it will gives you a drop down to select the object. According to our example, we need to select as a feedback object. Here I will get a feedback as a object. It will only show you the object if it has a relationship with the primary object that you have chosen up. I have a feedback as an object that has a relationship with this primary object known as a opportunity. It's give us the two options to define this A to B relationship. That is, each A record must have at least one related B record, or A record may or may not have been related to B record. According to your suitability, you need to check one radio button. And once you do that, you simply need to click on the save button to save up the changes. And as you click on the save button, you have successfully created up one custom report type in Salesforce Lightning interface. So guys, when we are discussing about how we create a report, we left out on this page that is visible on your screen right now. So here you can see up that we have chosen up a report type as an opportunity to create up a new report. So before we will proceed to the our next topics and learn to put up some feature in these reports in Salesforce, let's firstly understand what does we mean by opportunity report type. So in Salesforce, the opportunity standard report is a pre-built report that allow you to analyze and track their sales opportunity, and this report typically includes the information such as the total of opportunities, the stages of each opportunity, the close date, the probability of closing, and any associated accounts or contacts related to that. Basically, this opportunity standard report provide you a valuable insight that helps the sales team and the managers to understand which opportunities are progressing and which may require some additional attention. So I hope you have understood what does we mean by the opportunities report. So now let's proceed to the next step and discuss some of the key terminologies in Salesforce report builder before we will discuss out how to apply some features in report. So I am back on my Lightning interface. So to start up the report, you simply need to click on this start report button that is given on your right side in the details section. Once you click on that, it will take you to the report builder page. So here are some key terminologies that we must know while working up with reports in Salesforce. So let's start with the first most easiest thing, that is this report name. It looks like a new opportunity report. It is the name of your report. The next thing, we have this outline. You can see on this left side we have a outline in this box, and this is used to add or remove the fields to your report as a columns, group rows, and a columns. Here we have one arrow that is used to show up the fields. When you click on that, it will gives you the list of all the fields. The next, we have this filter icon, and it filtered out the record for your report if you want. Here on this right side on the top, where I have put out my cursor, this add chart, or you can say it as a toggle chart, it show or hide the chart if you want to include. The next, we have a save and run option that is used to save and run to view the report. After that, we have a save option. It saves the report, and save option also include some of the property, and once I click on that, you can see that it shows as a save report, as a save as. Okay, if you are creating a brand new report, give it a name, and optionally you can give it a description with the access and the sharing in the mind, and save the report in the appropriate folder so you can share it with your team. Here you can see that here we have a folder, and after filling up all such details, you simply need to click up on a save button. The next, we have a close button, and it's used to close the edit mode of your report. Next, we have a run button. It gives you a complete row level result of your report. And there are also some of the key terminologies and that we are going to discuss later on, because at that moment it is not visible on this report. So when we are going to learn up side by side, I will let you know about more key terminologies that are used in the Salesforce report. Now let's move to our next topic and learn to customize the report in Salesforce. So let's firstly understand what does we mean by a customization of a report in Salesforce. So customizing a report allow you to add some columns to your report, delete some of the column to your report, doing a sorting process of the fields that you have added, and also you can rearrange some of the fields in the report. So let's learn to do all such things in the report one by one. So here you can see that we are on a report builder in the Lightning interface. Here we have a preview of your report that is given here on the right side, and on the left side we have some of the key terminologies or key features that you can apply to your report. Now let's firstly understand how we remove a column to your report. Maybe there is some case in which you don't want to need a specific column. For example, suppose here we have a honor roll. I don't want this column anymore. I want to remove it. So there are two ways to remove that column. You can see that on the left side we have a section, and under this section we have a column, and under this column section there is a list of some fields that are given, and these fields are work as a columns in this report. You can see that here it gives the first field as a role honor, and it is located as a first column of this report. The next we have opportunity honor, and it is located as a second column of the report. So it is giving a way how the fields are represented on the report that is given on the right side. This representation is given on the left side of the section. Now, as I have told you, my requirement is I want to remove this role honor role, as I don't want this column anymore from the report. So for that there are two ways to do that, and the first one is from the column list find the column that you want to remove and click on the cross. So here is the column list given on the left sidebar, and here I find the column that I want to remove. In my case it is the honor roll, and here is the cross that is used to remove this column. You can see that when I put up my cursor on this cross, it's giving a help text as a remove column honor roll. So when I click on this cross, you can see it gives me a notification on the top, like to see the latest edit you need to refresh the preview. You need to click on the refresh, or to avoid this again and again you can also check this update preview automatically functionality. It's as per your requirement. So here I am refreshing it, and now you can see that the honor role is not available anymore. So as I have told you, there are two ways to do that thing. So now moves to the next way. Here you can see on the report we have a column that name as a next step. I don't want this column anymore right now. So this time we are going to learn it with the next way to remove it, and the next way is that in the preview pane on which I have right now, that is given on the right side, on which you are viewing your report on the right side. Here you need to find the column that you don't need anymore or you want to remove it, and simply on this column you need to click on the arrow that is given to this particular column to get a column action. When you click on that, in the last you will get the option of a remove column. Okay, in my case it is the next step. I click on the drop down that is given to next to it. It gives me a column actions. I select the remove column option from it, and once I click on it, it will take me to the step of refreshing my report to get a new preview of my report. And when I click on the refresh button, it removes up the column name as a next step from my opportunity report. So with this we have learned about two different ways to remove up the column from the report. Till now we are removing only one column from the report. Maybe there will be a scenario where you want to remove all the columns from your report. For this, on the left bar that is given for your functionalities, here on the outline section we have a column section, and from here you need to click on this columns drop down given next to it. Once you click on that, it will give you a list of the functionalities that you can do on the columns, and here on the last we get an option of a remove all column. When you click on that, it will remove all the columns that are visible on your report right now. I am not going to remove this thing, so I leave this thing as it is. So with this we have learned to remove up the columns. Now let's proceed and learn to add some new columns in report in Salesforce Lightning. Now to add up the new columns to your report, we have two different methods again. So let's discuss one by one. Here you can see that on the left side bar under this outline section, you get a columns as a section. As I have told you, this columns gives all the fields that are visible on your report as a columns in a Salesforce. So to add up one more column or to add up one more field, to your report, you need to search on this columns search box that is given, and from here you need to select up the column that you want to add. Let's suppose I want to add a lead source as a column. So here on this add columns pick list, I search for the lead source, I get it as a result, I click on that, and once I click, you can see that it automatically added up to this columns list as a last column of the report, and once I click on the refresh button, it successfully entered up the lead source column to my report. So this is the first way to add a column to your report. The next, we have one more alternative way to add a column to your report. Let's suppose this moment I want to add a stage to this opportunity report, and for adding it, I click on this fields pane that is given here on the left on the side, and once I click on this arrow, it will gives me the result of all the fields that we have in an opportunity. Now it's time to search for the fields in this search field search box, and as I have told you, my requirement is to add up a stage of the opportunity. Here I search for the stage, it gives me result regarding this stage. You can see that I have dragged it out, and you need to put it on the column list in the place where you want to add it on your report preview that is given on the right side. For example, I want to add this field as a column to the report at the third position. So here I leave this at a third position by dragging and dropping simply. So with this, we have learned up two different ways to add columns to our report. Now, while doing a customization, there may be a case in which you want to sort out your report field data. For example, let's say you want to sort up any opportunity name on the basis of their name in the ascending order, or you want to sort up any other field on the basis of the descending order. So let's learn how we can do the sorting while customizing the reports. So here I refresh my report to set up the stage as a field that we headed. So as I told you, now we are going to learn how we can do the sorting in the reports. To sort out your columns in Salesforce report, you need to click on the arrow right to the column that you want to sort out. Let's say, for example, I want to sort out this stage. I click on the arrow given next to it, and here you can see that we have two options of sorting: sort as a ascending and sort as a descending. Let's say I want to sort it as a ascending order. So I click from the drop down sort ascending option as per my preference, and once I select it up, I need to refresh it by clicking on the refresh option, and you can see that it successfully sorted out my stage on the basis of a ascending order. There is another way to sort out your column on the descending order. To sort out your column on the descending order, let's take an example of the expected revenue. So I click on the arrow to the right of the column that I want to sort, and once I click on that, it will give me a drop down menu with the option of a sort ascending. I click on this sort descending option based upon my preference, and once I click, I need to refresh it to get it visible on the report. You can see that it sorted out my report on the base of the expected revenue in an descending order, where the highest amount is given on the top and the lowest amount given at the end of the report. Till now, while customizing a report, we learn to delete up a column, we learn to add more columns, and even we have sorted out the fields data of our report. Now there may be some case in which you want to rearrange your fields or a columns that is displayed in your data. So let's learn how we can customize it also. By rearranging, I mean that I want to display this opportunity name column, or you can say a field, as a second column of this report. Now how can I shift it to the second column? It is located as a last column. So to take this column at the second position, we have two ways to do that. You can see that on the left side bar under this outline section, we have a columns as a section, and which gives us the list of all the columns that are visible on your preview of your report. Now as I want to make this opportunity name column on the second position, so from here I simply drag the opportunity name column from the last position and drag it with the help of a mouse and leave it on the second position. Once it reached, I drop it and click on the refresh button. So here you can see that by mistake I have left out my mouse cursor to the third position, so it gets visible on the third. So take it up to the second. I take one more step above and put it here and it take up my opportunity name at the second position. Now one thing I want more. I want that to make this probability column as a last column of the report. Now to shift it, we have a two ways. Now I want one more shift. I want that this probability column would be at the last position of the report. So we have already discussed up the one way. You can do it with that way also. The next way is that where you get the preview of your report on the page that is given on the preview panel of your report. From here you need to click on the field that is given and simply you need to select it and drag and drop it to the position where you want to put it up. As example, I want to leave it at the last position. I take it from the position where it is located right now and leave it on the position where I want to make it after the customization. So to view the latest edits, we need to click on the refresh option. Now you can see that here it not put up my column probability as a last column of the report. Why it's not put up there? I have drag it from the position where it located and I leave it on the last field. But why it's not put it after the lead source? Why it put this column probability before this lead resource? Because when you are following up this way to rearrange the columns in the Salesforce report, you have to make sure that you will left out of your column that you want to rearrange on the line that is given here. You can see that here we have one line, this line that is separated these columns. On this line you have to leave it your column that you want to position up at the new place. So you can also change up the size of your columns by rearranging it by clicking on this line. Here you can see that, let's suppose I want to expand this age. So here I expand till this position and leave it, and once I leave I click anywhere on the report and you can see that it changed the width of this column given on the report. So as we are discussing about rearranging of the column, I have told you that you have to leave the column that you want to rearrange on the line that is given. So here I again took up my probability column and this moment I leave it last of the lead resource, and when I leave it here it is not getting shifted easily because it is the last column and it is not able to get this line. So it's get difficult for it to put it on the exact position to get on the place. So we have to take care of such thing to do the procedure of rearranging the column by following this way of dragging and dropping of the columns from the preview panel of the report. As a good administrator of a Salesforce, it is not a good practice to rearrange the columns from the report by following that way. So if you want to rearrange it, here it gives you the list of the columns that is given on the report. So you simply need to drag and drop the column from this column list and rearrange its position. With this, we have customized our report. Now we will proceed to the next step where we will learn the different formats of a report. Basically, we have four kinds of reports formats in Salesforce and these are given on your screen. We can set up our report in a tabular format, in a metric, in a summary or a joint form. We are going to discuss each of the format by applying some features of the Salesforce report because these reports format are only get visible when you are putting up some feature of your report. So while we are dealing up with some of the feature, we are going to discuss these format side by side. So as we talk about the first, that is a tabular format. So this tabular format you will get by default when you are dealing up with the report. Basically, these tabular reports are the simplest reports like a spreadsheet that displays a record in each row, and you can easily create up a dashboard based upon this tabular report. But there is one limitation of this tabular report, that is you can't create a report chart while dealing up the tabular report. So here you can see that the data that is visible on your screen right now, that is visible on this preview section, is in the tabular format. The tabular format is nothing, it is a spreadsheet like a structure where you have a columns and a rows, and it gives you the result in the tabular format whenever we start working up the report. Now let's proceed to the next topic and learn how we can group our data in Salesforce report. So let's firstly understand the meaning of a grouping. Basically, a grouping is arrangement of the data of a report into various categories based upon the specific criteria. It allows you to summarize and analyze your data more efficiently and gaining more insights into trends and patterns. You can group data in two ways, either by rows and a column. So let's discuss each of them one by one and learn how we can do that. So let's firstly understand what does we mean by a grouping of a data by row. Basically, it means that the report will summarize and organize your data by row level grouping, and each row represent a combination of a different criteria, and the report will summarize your data according to the criteria that you have applied in the row feature. So let's learn how we can do that. So here we are on our report, and now to group up your data by the report, you need to click on the outline tab given on the left side. Once you click on that, here you will get a group section, and under it we have a subsection of a group by rows. Here you need to search for the column on which basis you want to group up your data by the rows. This is the first way. There is one alternative way to group up your data also, that is you need to search for the column that you want to group by row into the preview pane of the report. Here on the right side we have a preview pane. Here we have a multiple field. Now it's time to decide the field on which you want to group up your data by the row level. On this field you will get this arrow button, or you can say a column action drop down. You need to click on that and it will gives you a two options of a group rows by the field and group columns by the field. You can see that you will not able to see a group columns by this field option on the column action also, and even you are not getting this option on the group section, because if you want to group your data by the columns, firstly you have to group your data on the rows also. Without grouping up the data on the rows, you are not able to group up your data on the basis of the column. So let's firstly see an example of a grouping up of a data on the basis of the row, and this time I want to group up my data on the row level on the base of the close date. So here on the search box of the add group, I will search for the close date, and here I get it. I click on that, and once I click, it will gives me option of a refresh. I click on that and it will automatically group up my data based upon the close date in a row format. Here you can see it gives the first column as a close date, and it groups up the data in the rows on the basis of the close date. As I have told you, there are some key terminologies that we must be have to know while working up with, and some of them are the row counts, detailed rows, subtotals, and the grand total. You will get these features when you are working up with a grouping of a data. This row counts give you basically the row counts. It will not activated when you are group up your data by the rows. The next we have a button of the detailed rows. It will gives you the detail about the rows that is shown. Like it here it's shown a honor roll, opportunity honor, account name, opportunity name, and many other columns. If I close this button, it will not give me any of the detail about this particular rows. You can see it just simply give me a close date and the record count. The next we have a subtotals. It just gives you a subtotal of a particular close date or the criteria that you have mentioned up. Like here it's give a subtotal at the end of each close date. So if I close it down, it will directly gives you each date without any subtotal. You can get a simply a detail. Now the next we have a grand total. Basically it gives you a grand total of the data that you will get when you apply the feature of a group by rows. Like here it's give us a total of a 13. If you don't want to get it, you can close this button and it will not provide you any total of the data that you will fetch out after applying a feature of a grouping by row. It will just give you a record with a subtotal. So here we have group our data by rows in Salesforce report. So now, as I have told you, when we apply different feature, it will provide us a reports in a different format. Like by default, it provides us a report in a tabular format like a simple spreadsheet. Now we have apply the feature of a group by row. Let's see in which format it gives us a report. So if you apply the feature of a group by row, it will provide you a report in the format of a summary. A summary report is similar to the tabular report, but it provides you with the option of a group data and create chart that you will not get in a tabular format report. It basically allow you to analyze data by specified field, get a quick summary of a key matrices, and compare your data across different record of a group, and analyze your data by the time period also. So in just a simple terms, you have to remind yourself that when you create a simple report, it first give you in the tabular format. If you want to get a report in the summary format, you have to apply the group by row feature into it, and it will provide you a summary format report. So as it told us that it will give us a sense of creating a chart also, let's see how we can create it up. So here I am back on my report. You can see on the top we have an option of a add chart. When you click on that button, it will create it up a chart for your report that is created. When I click on refresh, it automatically edit up the chart on the preview panel of this report. Here you can see by default it creates a bar chart. If you want to create another kind of a chart, you simply need to click on the gear icon that gives us a chart properties, and here it gives a different kinds of chart that you can display. Let's suppose you want to add it as a line chart, so you can click on this line and it automatically change up your chart format to the line chart from the bar chart. So it creates a line chart for your record that you have created based upon the group by rows. So now let's proceed and understand what does we mean by a group by a column. So grouping your report data by a column in Salesforce allow you to organize the data within a column. It means that you are categorizing your data based upon the specific field value, and these categories appear as a column in your report. So let's see how we can group it by the column also. So to group up your data by column, you have to follow up the same procedure that you follow up in the grouping by a row. The only difference is that here you will get a group columns section in the outline tab on the left side, and this time you need to search for the column on which you want to group it up your data by the column base. And another way is similar like that, you need to search for the column in the preview panel on which you want to group it by the column, and you need to click on the arrow button, and here you will get an option of a group columns by this field. So it will group up your data by that particular field or a column. So this time we will learn with another way, that is a second way of grouping the data. So let's suppose in this example I want to group up my data by the stage field. So here I have a stage field. I click on the column action arrow given next to it, and here I will get an option of a group columns by this field. When I click on that, it will gives me option of refresh, and when I refresh it, it will create up a data that is a group on the basis of the column as well as a rows, because we have already applied the rows grouping feature, and now we have applied the feature of a grouping by a column. I again remind you that without grouping up a row, you are not able to group up your data by the column. So here you can see that it creates a different format of a report as compared to the previous one. So let's learn which kind of a format it is created. So simply it creates a report in the matrix format when you group up your data by rows as well as a column, and this matrix report allow you to lay out the data into multiple dimensions. It is the most complex type of a report that you can create in a Salesforce, and it is used to compare related total, and it helps you to analyze the data across multiple dimensions also. So in simple words, by default you will get a tabular report. When you group up your data on the basis of a row, you will get a summary format of a report, and when you group up your data on basis of rows and column both, you will get a matrix format of a report. So it will also allow you to create a charts. Let's see how you can do that. Similar as you have done in the summary report, you need to click on the toggle chart or a toggle button given on the top and choose up which kind of a chart you want to represent. If you want to change the type of a chart, you can click on the gear icon and change the different kind of a chart that you want to pick, and it will create up a chart for you. And if you want to close up the chart, if you don't want need anymore, you simply need to click on again the toggle chart button given on the top to stop working it. So once I click on that, it will remove the chart from the report automatically. So here on the top it gives a matrix to you. Here it firstly have a column of a close date, that is a group by row. The next it has a column of a stage, that is group by column, and the rest thing it gives a different stages like qualification, need analysis, value, proportion, and many other with the particular value on the particular date of the record. And last it gives you a total of how much records you have, and it gives a there are the 13 total records we have in it. So I hope you have understood how we can group up data by row and the columns in Salesforce report. One more thing, if you want to ungroup your data in Salesforce at any moment of a time, you can do it by clicking on the cross symbol that is given particular to the column. If you want to remove any particular column, if you want to remove all the grouping, you simply need to click on this bin. It will remove all the groups. And one thing you also have to note it down, that is very important, you can only group up to 2 rows and the 2 columns in a one go. So with this we have learned how we can group our data in Salesforce report and what kind of a report formats it has created. Till now we have discussed the 3 formats of a report. Only one is pending, that is a joint report. So let's discuss about it. What does we mean by the joint report in Salesforce? So basically this joint reports combine 2 reports that have a different report types within a single view, and it appears like one single report so that you can get more detailed data view of it. And this joint report basically shows us 2 unrelated reports in a one view. If you think about a Salesforce as a data model, there are multiple objects in it, and there is no possibility to group all the different objects together. So in that cases we need a joint report. Take an example of a opportunity and the contact, and there is a no way that you able to see both an account related to the opportunity as well as the contact. So for doing all such thing, to get the view of the report with the contact of a account, we use a joint report. So let's proceed and learn how we can create it up a joint report in Salesforce. Before I will explain you this thing, there is one very important point that you need to note down, that that the joint report is only possible if you have any common relationship between these unrelated objects. For example, like we have 3 unrelated objects in our case, that is account, opportunity, and the contact. These are totally different objects, and we need a one relationship between all such objects. And by default we have a one lookup field in account as well as a opportunity object that is linked up to the account object, and the lookup field name as a account name. So let's learn to create it up, how to create a joint report. So for this, let's firstly open one new setup in a Salesforce Lightning. So here I click on a gear icon and click a setup option. It will take me to the main home setup page of the Lightning interface. So as you all know that to search for the reports we need to click on the app launcher, and here we need to search for the reports in the quick find box, and here I will get under the items. When I click on that, it will redirect me to the page where I can create a new report in Salesforce. So here we have a new report button given on the top right side. Once we click on that, it will take us to the page where we have to choose up the category or the report type for creating up the report. So as per our requirement, we want to combine accounts, contacts, and opportunity. So let's firstly search for the contacts in our list. We don't have any separate contact report type. We have a merger with the contacts in the account. So let's select it by searching in the quick find box. Here I get it down. So here I simply click on it, and once I click, it will gives me a start report option on the right side. And once I click on that, it will start creating up the reports regarding to this contacts and the accounts. So to get up the data, you need to set up something. Here I click on the all accounts and click refresh, and the next thing I click, it shows the data for all time, and then I again click on the refresh, and here you can see that it will gives me a report for the accounts and the contacts. It will give me a multiple fields. I don't need that much of fields. So here I am going to remove the unwanted field. You have already learned up how we can remove the unwanted fields from the report. So you just need to simply click on the cross and remove some of the unwanted fields that you don't want. So here I removed up and click on the refresh, and after that you can see that it gives you a report for the accounts in the context. Now it's time to create up a joint report. So to create a joint report, here on the the top left side we have a report as a text, and beside it we have a one drop down. You need to click on that and it gives you option to choose a report format. So as we are going to create a joint report, we need to select it up, and by default the report is selected. So here I check this joint report and click on the apply. As I click on the apply, it will gives you option of a add block on the top. You need to add a different kind of a reports in this add block section. So here I click on this add block. It will again redirect you to the page where you can choose a different report type. So as our requirement is, we want to interlink a contact accounts with the contact and the opportunity. So we have already accounts, now we are searching for the opportunities. So let's here search for the opportunities in the search box. Here I get it down. Now I click on that, and you can see that it gives this time option as a add as a block. So I want to add it as a block, so I click on this add block button. It will takes me to the page of the report, and once I click on the refresh, it will edit up the block of the opportunity report type next to it. And I again want to remove some unwanted field from this opportunity report. So let's remove it also. Here I removed and click on refresh, and now you can see that it creates up two blocks. The one is a accounts and the contact, which has a salutation first name and the last name, and the next we have a opportunity block that has a opportunity name and the stage. Now it's created two different reports. Now I want to combine it, or you can say we want to create a joint report related to the account name. And for creating it up, you need to click on the outline tab given on the left side bar, and here you will see a section of a group across blocks. While dealing up with other report formats, you can see that we have a option of a group by row and a group by column. So here we have an option of a group across the blocks because we are creating up a joint report, and here you need to search for the column on the which basis you want to combine it. So as we are going to combine it on the basis of the account name, so here we search it down and click on that, and once you click on that, it will gives you option of a refresh, and as you click on the refresh, it will combine both the reports, contacts in the account with the opportunity on the account basis. Here you can see that it gives a this is the account name, it has this contact, and there is no opportunity regarding that. The next thing is we have a account name as this, and it has a contact as a this, and this is the opportunity name for that, and gives you the detail regarding that, and also gives you a total count of the accounts and a contact a report type and the opportunity report type also, and even it gives a subtotal. So one more thing, if you want to add a chart to it, you can simply need to click on the add chart button given on the top right side, and as you click on that, it will automatically add up a chart when you click on the refresh to the preview panel of the report. And it's by default, you know that it edits a bar chart. If you want to change a chart type, you can do that also. Now let's proceed to the next topic and learn about the filtering of the data in Salesforce report. So let's firstly understand what does we mean by filter your data. So it is a process of applying specific criteria when you want to limit the record included in a report based upon certain conditions and requirements. It's like you want a specific record from your report on which you want to analyze something deeply. Like you can say that you want to filter out the data in which the name starts with alphabet A. You want to filter out the data where age is greater than 80. So here we are fetching out some data on which we want to apply some function, or we want to analyze something very deeply. So let's see how to apply the filter in Salesforce report. So here we are on our report. To apply the filter, you need to click on the filter icon that is given on the left side bar. Here we have a filter icon. You need to click on that, and to add a field filter, you need to choose a field from the add filter pick list. Here it is given. You need to choose up the field on which you want to apply the filter, and to remove a filter, you need to click on the cross icon of the filter. So before I will let you know how we can add a filter, here you can see that there are some fields are already given under this filter, and depending upon which type of report you can choose, your report has between 2 to 4 standard filters always, which are applied by default. And most of the common are like a show me filter and the date filter. Here you can see that the show me filters scope reports result around the common group like my opportunity or all the opportunities, and the date filter scopes result result around a date field like a created date, close date. Here you can see that it gives a close date to us. So these are some default filter that is already applied to this report, and you are not even able to delete it if you want to remove it. So let's apply the filter if you want to apply it on. So the first filter, I want that I don't want to get a close date based upon the current FAQ. I want that it will gives me the record of all the dates. So here I click on the filter to edit it, and here I have to select up the range. So I click on this range drop down and choose all time from here and click on the apply. Once I click apply, it gives me a refresh option. I click on that and it refresh up the data and represent on the report successfully. Now I apply one more filter in which I want that I only want to get the opportunities whose stage is a closed one. So to applying that, here simply in the filter pick list, I search for the stage, and once I search for the field name as a stage, it gives me, I selected down and it gives me to add a filter like I want. It's equals to closed one. So here it give a different value, so I click on that closed one, and to successfully apply it, I need to click on the apply button. So as I click on apply, it successfully apply a new filter in which it fetch out the opportunity whose stage is only a closed one, and it gives me some certain piece of a data from the whole report to analyze something very deeply. Now here you can see that if I want to delete that, here it has a bin icon to remove that particular filter. So with this, we have successfully learned up how we can add a filter to our Salesforce report. Now let's move to some of the advanced features of a Salesforce report. So let's start up with formula field in report. So firstly, understand what does we mean by the formula field. Basically, the formula field is used to perform different operation on fields, and in reports we can create the formula fields directly without creating up in a specific object. So there are two kinds of a formula fields that you create up in a Salesforce report. The one is a row level formula and the next one is a summary level formula. We are going to discuss each of them one by one with example. So let's start up with the row level formula first. Basically, this row level formula in Salesforce report allows user to perform calculation on individual rows of a data within the report, and these formula are useful for driving the new data point based upon the existing field or performing some of the calculation on the specific record. So let's proceed and discuss how we can create up the formula field in Salesforce report. So here I am on my report, and I want to create up a formula field in the row level only, and I want to calculate the weighted opportunity value for that. So for creating up the row level formula field, here you can see that on the outline tab we have a column section, and in it we have a drop down option, and here you can see that we have an option of a add row level formula. You can create this add row level formula on the tabular format of a report easily, but if you want to create up the summary formula, you need to create up the summary format of the report. So we are discussing how we can create the row level. So I click on that and it will take us to the page where we can edit up the row level formula calculations. Now here you can see that we have to enter the column name, a description, a formula output type, and the decimal. So as I have told you, I want to calculate the weighted opportunity value. If you want to add a description, you can add it down, otherwise you can leave as it is, and you have to decide in which format it will gives you output. Either it is a number, date, date time, or a text. So it always be a number, so you need to select up the number. If you want to set up the decimal points, you can set it down. By default it's set to the 2, and here next to it we have a formula box. Here you need to create up your formula that calculates the weighted opportunity value for your opportunity report. So to calculate the weighted opportunity value, we have the formula that we multiply the amount with the probability, and to enter up the fields, here on the left side we have a field section and the function sections too. If you want to add some of the function, you can also add it, and if you don't need it, you can simply add the fields from here. So here I need a first field as a amount. So here I simply search for the amount in the search box, and here I get the amount as a field. I click on that and I click on the insert button to insert it on my formula tab. Once I add it, next we have to enter the operator. Here some of the operator are given. Here I enter multiply operator, and after that we have to enter the next field, that is a probability. So I search for the another field, here the probability, and once I search I get it. I also entered it by clicking on the insert button. Once I entered my formula, to check whether there is error in it or not, I click on this validate button, and it gives me a message that it is validate. It means there is no error. To apply the formula, now I click on the apply button. Once I click on apply button, it successfully applied the formula. Once I click on a refresh, it will give a formula field in the report preview. Here you can see that for each row it calculated the value. Now let's move to the another one, that is a summary level formula. So summary level formula in Salesforce report allows user to perform a calculation on a summarized data, and these formula are useful for driving the aggregate value or calculating the percentage and ratios on the group data. Basically, if you want to do some calculation on the group data, you need to work up with the summary level formula. And for creating up the summary level formula, it's very necessary that you are working on the summary format report. And you all know that to create up a summary format, it is very necessary to have a group by row value. So here we are back on our report. So as we want to work up with the summary level formula, we firstly need up a group by row. So let's group it by on the name of account name. So here I click on the add group, and here I group it on the basis of the account name. So here I apply a group and refresh it. Now you can see that it grouped down my report on the basis of the account name. Now I want to create up the summary level formula that calculate the average opportunity amount associated with that particular account. So for that, you again need to click on this column section, and here you get a option of add summary formula. Now you can see that if you are working on the summary format report, it will not allow you to add up a row level formula. So row level formula works upon the tabular format report, and the summary level formula works upon the summary format or a matrix level report. So here I click on that, and once I click, it will open up the summary level formula column. Here you need to enter up the column name that you want to associate it with. So I want to calculate the average opportunity amount. So here I enter the average opportunity amount, and here we have a different format of the output like a number, percent and currency. So we are calculating the amount, it always result in a currency. I set it to the currency. If you want to change its decimal points, you can also do that, and by default it's set to 2. Now it's time to create up the formula in the formula editor. Here we have a field function section 2. So to create up the average opportunity amount associated with account formula, we need a sum of amount that are in a Salesforce reports. To do that, we have to search for the amount as a field. So here we get it down, and you can see that here on the downside we have one drop down, gives a value as a sum, average, mean, max, unique, a medium. So you need to click on this sum as we want to calculate the sum of the amount in the particular group. So here I click on that and click on insert button. It enter the amount as sum format, and then I want to divide it. So here I add one operator as a division, and next I want to get a total of the records that are in a particular group, because we are calculating the average value. And to calculate the record numbers in the particular thing, we have a record count field already created by the report. So here I select it and insert it. So it created up my formula successfully. Now to check whether it is working correctly or not, I click on the validate button. So it's perfectly working, it's validate for the formula. Now there is one more thing that we have to select where you want to apply this formula. You want to apply it on all summary level or a grand total only, or the selected group. So I want to be it on a selected group, so I set it down, and it asks me on which group you want to apply. So here is only one group, that is account name. So I set it to the account name, and after doing all such things, you simply need to click on the apply button. So here I click on apply and click on a refresh again, and here I will let you know how it's working. Now you can see that it created up the formula field as a summary. It name as a average opportunity amount. You can see that this time it gives a value in the group level, not by each row. So here it gives a finalized value as a 6166.67 for the edge communication. It will not giving for the individual row each. So here we have learned up how we can apply the formula fields in Salesforce report. Now let's move to the next topic, that is a bucket field in report. So let's firstly understand what does we mean by that. So bucket field in Salesforce report allows user to categorize and group a data into predefined ranges or the segment, and these formula provide a way to differentiate the data based upon the specific criteria and analyze the data in the structured manner. So let's understand with the help of a scenario how it's worked down. So let's go back. So here I am on my report. You can see that this stage is a pick list type of a field, and it gives a different values for that, and I want to be combining a value for the negotiation and a proposal. So for doing that, we need to create up the bucket field. If you go up with the group level row, we can't do that, because if we group it by row, you can see that here I group it by the stages, and it will give me the result in the form of a proposal and the negotiation. It will separately created a group for both. It will not give me a one group that contains all the value. So for doing such thing, we need to create up the bucket field, and to creating up the bucket field, we have to choose up the row in which we want to create up. So firstly let's add me again this column. So here I enter the stage as a column and refresh it again. So I want to apply the bucket field on this stage. So here we have a column action drop down. I click on that, and here you can see that it has option of a bucket this column. Once I click on that, it will gives me a option of a bucket name. So here I want to be give its name as a type stage. So here you can see the next thing we have on the left side the bucketed value, and on the right side we have a different values in the pick list field. So as I want to create up the new bucket, here on the left side downward we have a add bucket field option. I click on that, it gives me option to add a bucket name. So I want to combine up the value for the proposal and negotiation. So here I enter the bucket value as this, and you can see that it successfully created up one bucket. Now to enter the values in it, we have to click on this all values option given on the top, and it gives us the all values that we have. So here I select up the values that I want to include in it. So I want to include the value as a proposal and the negotiation. I check the check boxes, and I want to move it to the proposal and negotiation bucket. We have a move to drop down value for it, and here we have a bucket that we have created up. So here move these value to this bucket, and after that I click on the apply. Once I click on apply, you can see that it created up the bucket field name as a type stage. Now let's group it by this type stage field. So here I enter the group row as a type stage, and now you can successfully see that it combines up a proposal and the negotiation. Irrespectively, it gives us a different result for the different groups. The count of the proposal value as a 1, and there is a 2 negotiation value. Now it gives the result as a total 3 values in this group, because we have created up a bucket field for this. So I hope you have understood how we create up the bucket field in Salesforce report. Now let's move to the next topic and learn how we can do the conditional highlighting in Salesforce report. So firstly, I will let you know that it will be only available for the summary format and the metrics format reports in Salesforce. So it means that if you want to highlight some field value on the summary or the metrics level report, you can do it based upon the ranges and the color you want to specify. And to enable this conditional highlighting, it is very necessary that you have at least one summary field or the one metrics field. So let's learn how we can do the conditional highlighting in Salesforce report with the help of a scenario. So here I am back on my report. You can see that here we have a column as a amount, and I want to do conditional formatting on that. For by the conditional formatting, I mean that I want to specify or highlight the value that are greater than 1 lakh and greater than 2 lakh in a different color, so I can easily highlight these kind of values. So to apply the conditional formatting, we have a conditional formatting option on the right side on the downward direction. So once you click on that, it will gives you option of applying the conditional formatting rules. You need to click on this add conditional formatting rule, and once you click on that, it will take you to the page where you can choose up the field on which you are applying. So here we have a field of a sum of amount and the sum of probability. You can't do it on the type of stages or anything else. So here you have to enter the values on which you want to apply which color. So here we have a different value ranges, and here from you can select a different colors. So some of them are default and some you have created by custom by yourself. You can do it as per your requirement. So let's create it. So here I enter the value as a 15,000, and then I enter the value as a 50,000, and all the values that are greater than 50,000 shows in a green color. So I click on a done and apply this conditional formatting, and once I click on the apply button and then I click on the refresh, it will apply the conditional highlighting on the amount field. You can see that it shows that this values are greater than the 50,000, so it will be highlighted in the green color, and if it is less than the 15,000 or the 15,000 equal to 15,000, it will be on a red color, and if there is a value between the 50,000, it will be highlighted on the orange color that we have specified. So this is the conditional highlighting. It gives you a highlighted preview about the specific field on which you want to gain deeper insight. Now let's move to the last section of this training and learn about saving and sharing of the reports in Salesforce. So let's firstly discuss what does we mean by save and run report. So once you create a report, to execute it, we need to run it, and after the execution, we need to save it also for the further requirement. So let's see how we can run the report and save it. Here I am on my report, and I apply all the filters and do all the necessary thing in my report that I want to do. Now after creating the report successfully, we have to save it and run it. There is a two kind of option. You can separately run this report and separately save this report by clicking on the run button and the save button respectively. But if you want to do this process in combined way, you can click on the save and run button that is given on the top right side. So let's save and run this report. So I click on the save and run button. Here you can see that it gives us the pop-up to save the report. Here it asks us to enter the report name on which you want to save that report. So here this reports give us about the closed won stages. So here I create the report name as a opportunity closed won stage report, and you can see that the report unique name get automatically populated. The next, if you want to add description, you can add it, and the next thing, we have to select up the folder in which we want to save it. By default it is set up to the private reports. It is very necessary to select up the corrected folder because it helps us while sharing the reports. So if you don't have any folder, you can click on this select folder button given next to it, and here it will gives you a option of selecting of the folder that are already there. If the folder is not there, then in which you want to save this report, you can create it also. So we will later on discuss how we can create that. If you want to create at that moment, here we have a button of the new folder. You can create directly from here. So after selecting up the folder, you need to click on the save button, and as you click on the save, it successfully save up the report, and it's take you to the page where it will gives you the report in the executed format. Here you can see that this page is giving you the result of the report that you have executed. It shows that there are total 18 numbers of record whose stage is the closed one in the opportunity. It gives the account name, opportunity name, stage, amount, and the probability as a column also. So with this, we have successfully saved and run our report. Now let's proceed and learn about the folder permissions and the subscribe of a report. So firstly, as I have told you, we have to create up the folder because it helps us while sharing the report to the users, and we are not able to share up the report manually. We are able to share the folder in which the report is reside. So it's very necessary to create up a folder while sharing it. So let's learn how we can create up a folder in Salesforce and what permissions we have while sharing the Salesforce reports. So here we are on that page. Now we have to create up the folder. So for that, we need to click on this reports tab again. So it's let take us back to the report section, and here you can see that in the recent we will get the report that we have created now, and in the private reports, because it gets saved in by default in the private folder, we also get the report that is. So as I told you, we have to create up the folder, and here to create a new folder, on the top right side we have a new folder button. So once you click on that, it will take you to the pop-up where you need to enter up the folder name. So here I enter the folder name as a opportunity closed one report. Here I corrected the spelling of my opportunity, and here the folder unique name get automatically populated because it work as a API. So after setting up the folder label, you need to click on the save button, and as you click on a save, it successfully created up the folder named as a opportunity closed one report. Okay, and you will get this folder under the all folder section, and now I am on this folder. Now it's time to add up the report to it. So to adding a report to this folder, you need to move to the folder in which by default your report gets saved. So as our report is saved in the private report folder, I am on that, and here you can see that in the front of your report name, you will get a drop down arrow. Once you click on that, here we have an option of a move. Once you click on this move option, it will gives you a pop-up on which folder you want to move it. So here on the all folder section, you will get the folder name that you have created recently. So here I click on that, and on the right side it gives me a folder name. So here is the folder name, that is opportunity closed one report. I click on that, and here I click on the select folder button to enter this report to a particular folder. So now you can see that it removes the report successfully from the private report folder on which it is previously saved. Now let's see it's moved to the newly created folder or not. So here I click on the all folder option, and here I get the folders that are in Salesforce Reports. So here I get a folder that I have created. Now I click on that, and here you can see that here I will get the report that I have created. So with this, we have successfully learned up how we create up a folder in Salesforce. Now as I have told you, for sharing the reports, the folder creation is very necessary. So we have created the folder now. Now let's see how we can share it. So for sharing the report to the user or a group of a user, you need to share the folder. You can see that if I click the drop down next to this report name, here I don't have any option of share, so I need to click on the folder that I have created to share that particular report. So here I am on my folder, here I click the drop down arrow next to it, and here you can see that it gives the option of a share. Once I click on that, it will gives me a pop-up where I need to define with whom I want to share it. So here it has a share with option as a users, roles and internal subordinates and the public group. So if you want to share it with some particular user, you can choose up this users option. If you want to share it up with the users who have a specific role, you will go up with this roles option. If you want to go up with the role and subordinates, you can do that. And otherwise, if you want to share it with the users who are belong to the different roles or permission set, you can go up with the public groups. So as per your requirement, you need to choose up these things. So here you can see that here I click on the users, and from here we need to search for the user. So here I have one user as a Jack Brown, so I select that user as I want to share this report with that. So here I selected that. Now next to it we have a assess option. You can see that it gives us a three options as a assess, view, edit and manage. If you want that only a user can view this report, you can give them a assess of a view. If you want that the user can also edit that report, you can give them a assess of edit. And the last option is of a manage. If you want that the user can view, edit and also able to share that report with other users, you have to give up the manage as a assess. So I only want that the user can view that particular report, so I check the view as a assess option. And now to successfully share it with, we need to click on the share button that is given down, and once I click on that, it will automatically edit the user to the who can assess list that is given downward. Here you can see that here there are the two users. First is a Jack Brown that we have added recently, and the user can only view that particular report. The next is a Tanya who is working as an administrator, and it can manage the report, so it means she can edit, view and share the report also. Now to successfully save up the permissions and the sharing of the report, you need to click on the done button, and once you click on a done, it successfully share up the report with a particular user that you have selected down. Now as we have share our report with the user, we want that the user get automatically update of the particular report that we will done later on to this report. So I want to subscribe this report to the user. In simple word, the subscribe means as a scheduling of a report to the user. We can schedule the report to the user on the weekly basis, daily basis or the custom basis, so that user get a updated version of the report on their mails. So let's see how we can subscribe the report in Salesforce Lightning. So here I am back on the Salesforce Lightning page on the reports tab. Now if you want to subscribe the report, you have to move yourself to the report that you want to subscribe. The subscribe option is available on the reports, not on the folder section. So here I open up the folder in which my reports belong, and here you can see that here is my report that I want to subscribe. Now you need to click on the drop down arrow given next to this report, and here you will get an option of a subscribe. And once you click on that, it will gives you a pop-up window to edit the subscription. You can see that it has a frequency as a daily, weekly and monthly basis. As per your requirement, you need to set it down, and if you set it up to daily, you need to choose up the time on which time you want to set it down. If you choose up the weekly basis, you need to choose up the days on which you want to schedule it, or you can also choose up the more than one day for scheduling the report in a weekly basis, and you also have to choose up the time. And if you want to do on the monthly basis, now you have to choose up when from the relative or the specific thing, then you have to choose up the week, like a first, second, third, fourth and the last. And the next thing, you have to choose up the day on which you want to schedule it, and the last you have to choose up the time also. I want that to be schedule it on the weekly basis on every Wednesday at the 8 o'clock. So here I set it to the Wednesday, and I set its time to the 8. I want to schedule it at the morning 8 a.m, which is, so here I choose up the 8. And if you want to attach any file to it, you can do that by clicking on this attachment file option. The next you scroll down, here you can see that we have a recipients as an option. You can send mail to which recipient. It sends mail to me, and you also have to edit some other recipient recipient if you want to add it by clicking on this add recipient option. So here it has an option of an entity type. The user is selected. Now you have to search for the user. So here we have a user of the Jack Brown. I also want that the user get this report scheduling. So here I click on the add to add this user. So here you can see that the two subscribers are there who will get the mail of this report when it get update, that is a me and the Jack Brown. So after adding it, I cross this pop-up, and here you can see that now it gives the option of a run report as me or another person. You can go with either of the options. So here I selected to run report as a me only. Then last we have a condition option. If you want that the report get executed when it meets up with some specific condition, you can set up these things. This is a totally optional feature. You can ignore it if you don't want to go with that. If you want that the sum of the condition met and only then report get executed or mailed to that particular person, so you can go with that. And after completing all such things, you need to click on the save button. So here by mistake the Monday is also selected, so I unchecked it by clicking on it again, and now it's perfectly fine. I want that the report get subscribed weekly on the Wednesday at 8 a.m. in the morning to me and the Jack Brown. So here I added that, and I finally click on the save button, and once I click on a save, it successfully save up the subscription detail of that particular report. And now you can see that here we have a column of the subscribed. It get checked that the report is with a subscribed feature. Now let's move to our last topic of this training, that is exporting of the report. So most of the time we want to export the report to save its backup, because we have a thousands of report in our system on the daily basis. So we want to store its backup. It's very necessary to take a backup of reports, because it's a very good practice. So to getting up the backup of your report, you need to export it in the Excel format or the CSV file format. So let's learn how we can export the report. So here I am on my lightning page, and I am on the reports tab. And here you can see that we are on a opportunity closed one report folder, and here I have a one report that I want to export it. So if you want to export the reports are exported, not the folder are exported. So you have to redirect yourself to the particular report that you want to export. So here I am on my report. So now I want to export it. So here is the name of my report. Next to it we have a one drop down action. I click on that, and here you will get an option of export. Once you click on that, it will take you to the option that ask you to choose up the export view, in which view you want to export it. So there are the two views. The one is the formatted report, and another is the detail only. By default the formatted report view is selected. It export the report including your report header, groupings, and the filter settings, and it is only available to export in the Excel file format. You can see that here it gives a format, you can't change it. And the next we have a details only, that export only the detail row, and you can use this format view to do the further calculation or upcoming uploading to the other system. And here you can see that it has a different formats. It will available to export as a XLSX or XLX file, or as well as you can go up with the CSVs or non-local CSVs. Which format you want, you can do that, and also you can go up with the encoding options. So but I want to export it in the formatted report format, so I check the checkbox of the formatted report, and to successfully export it, I click on the export button. And once I click on the export, it successfully exported the report that I have created. And you can see that it gives a notification that opportunity closed one report get exported. So with this we have come up with the end of this training, and in this training we have completely learned about the Salesforce report from basic to the advanced level. We have learned each and everything from what does we mean by report to some of its feature, and also we have covered its advanced feature. And in the last we have also learned how we can save and share and export the reports. So guys, if you are eager to master Salesforce admin from beginning to advanced level, we have created a course just for you. With 9 plus modules and 21 hours of HD video, you will deep dive into each topic with real business scenarios as example. Not only this, our course covers both Lightning and Classic interface and ensures that you are a proficient in both the environments. And there is one good news for you all. We are offering an exclusive discounts to specially for you guys, and to avail it, check out the description for the coupon code. But do it fast. This special offers is only available for limited time. Do not miss out on this opportunity to enhance your Salesforce skills at a discounted rate. Before we wrap up, let's take a quick look at the table of content for our Salesforce course. So here is the complete table of content of our Salesforce admin course. We have covering up the 9+1 modules, in which we are giving you an introduction to a Salesforce with the basic of a CRM to the platform of a Salesforce with its different environments, and even we are covering up different additions and pricing of a Salesforce with benefits, with architecture, and each and everything of a CRM and the Salesforce. Moving ahead, we will let you know how you can navigate and set up the Salesforce account. If you want to learn it with a free, we are explaining you how you can create a free developer account and use the lightning as well as the classic interface of a Salesforce, and even we will let you know how you can use the special feature of a Salesforce lightning, that it's app builder and creating up the home page and various tabs. We doesn't stop here. We will also let you know about the user management, the data security, data access, and how you can create a single or a multiple user in one go, and if due to some reasons the user get freeze or deactivate their account, you how you can unfreeze and reactivate your user. And even we let you know to handle up the user's password and keep up user restricted at the organization level through the IP address, through the logging times, and many more. We doesn't stop here. We are covering up the Salesforce profiles with the permission set, and even we are giving up the security features of the object level security, field level security, record level security, and we are also letting you know about how you can restrict the sharing of your records within your Salesforce organization. Moving towards the Salesforce apps and objects and the tab, we are covering each and everything, like how you can create up the custom apps, objects, and the tabs with external objects also in both lightning as well as a classic interface of a Salesforce. Even we let you know how you can handle the tab visibility and rearrange and remove the tabs that you don't want to include anymore in your course. We are taking you to the fields and the formulas and let you know about each and every type of the field types that Salesforce is providing you to store a different data. We are covering each of the field type with a real business scenario example and covering up all such thing in a classic as well as a lightning interface. We are showing you how you can use up the advanced formulas and functions to do the automation processes. Even we are covering up all the custom buttons, links, action pages, and the list view that helps you to easily manage out your Salesforce account, your Salesforce organization with the help of a publishing layout, object specific action, different record types, and change the look of your Salesforce completely. We are taking up you to the advanced level of the Salesforce administration also, and showing you how the schema builders, process builder, validation rules, workflow rules are working with the Salesforce. We are not even stopped there. We are also covering up the visualization that helps you to easily show up your data records with the help of a report. We are covering each type of report and let you know how you can create up in a lightning as well as a classic one. We let you know how you can schedule the reports and apply some formulas on it. We are taking up you to the dashboards and dynamic dashboards. We let you know how you can create up the dashboard, even the simple one and the dynamic in both the interfaces. And last but not the least, in the ninth module, we are covering up the data management, which is how you can import and export the bulk data without any second thought, how you can dealing up with the huge data in Salesforce. We are letting you know how you can use the data loader and save your time to deal up with the bulk amount of our data. We let you know each operation on a data loader, insert, update, delete, and everything we are covering up. Even we are letting you know if you are creating up the object in a bulk, how you can create up with the data loaders. And we are also letting you know about the record IDs and external IDs. So guys, I hope that you will join this course and don't miss this opportunity. Nowhere you will get this course at this amount of the price that you are getting now. Just go to the description, copy up the coupon code and purchase this course now and start moving to the journey of Salesforce admin and get a good package in your hand in a well known multinational companies by learning up this Salesforce admin. And don't worry, this course duration is for the unlimited time, and we are here with you to help you out if you stuck anywhere in between of the course. And you will also get the certification of a completion after completing up this course. So thank you everyone for listening me, and if you have any query you can mail us on the email ID that is given on your screen. And I hope you will become the part of our course, and we will meet again with super exciting more sessions.